Hey Joshua, how you doing?
Hey, good morning.
Yes, it is.
How you doing today?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. I got to go camping this weekend, but got back to my office late afternoon and finally caught up on all emails and projects, it seems like. So I feel like I have my equilibrium back.
Yeah, for sure. I know how that is.
Yeah. Do you work much at home or you just happen to be off today?
I do. I work remote. I have been working remote since July,
Sweet.
and some
Nice.
things might be changing in the future. Some things are uncertain right now, but
Yeah. I heard you have an acquisition taking place.
yeah. And I received an offer letter for the new place, and they've they're changing my title around, and my accounts that I manage now might shift, and some things might the way this shakes out, I could see them trying to get me to come back into the office. But I'm going to put up a fight. One of my goals for a long time now has been to work remote. So
Yeah.
when I got this position, that was a big part of it, was the fact that it was able to do that. There was other paths I could have taken that would been higher pay even.
Hmm.
uh, so it was like a huge thing for me to you know want to work remote and be able to have the freedom to do stuff like this, because and then be with my family a lot more, obviously, for reasons like that. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll
Yeah.
see. It.
I don't think I would trade working from home for just about anything.
Yeah,
Well, it would have to be substantial.
right. Yeah, and so we'll see how it goes. If they somehow get me back into the office, then it's just a delayed lifestyle goal of mine that will have to be reorganized, and because I have too many things that I want to do that I can't be tethered to an office, I can't be tethered to a desk.
Yeah.
So um, I need the ability to work remote with a lot of the goals that I want to do. Basically, a lot of the things we want to do as a family.
Awesome.
How about yourself? I mean, how long have you been like working in your barn there, and then remote in general, or this freelancing business? I know we have a lot of technical items to get to, but
Hmm.
is one of the questions I wanted to ask you is more about your freelancing business.
Yeah. So I was in the restaurant industry and just couldn't see a way out of that because all the experience I ever gained was just for the restaurant industry. So I was really trying to rack my brain on how the hell to get out of that. I didn't want to I managed before, and you end up just working 50, 60 hours for really not much more pay. So it was right when social media was starting to blow up back in like 2012, 13. And I saw like every business was going to have to be on social media soon. So I was working at my in-laws. They were doing kayak manufacturing. I was working there just for some side hours, and then pitched them. I was like, "Hey, you guys need online social media help. Why don't I help you out there?" So they gave me a shot, and then I had another client. Um, well, first off, had another business, took it to market, spent a year horribly marketing it online, realized what not to do. From that experience, plus took some online courses, I got I got a good foundation for a business. So then I pitched it to my in-laws and got my first couple clients, and then I was out of the races. Or yeah, um, and I've been just helping clients building skills for the last 8 years, and
Oh, wow.
that that working from home was what I was striving for the whole time, at least just remotely. Like I didn't want to come in and clock out. So I just started to become aware of like that's there's another way to make money instead of trading hours. And yeah, I started mainly just helping with content creation and like helping them create posts for their social media pages. And then kind of worked my way out from there, learning how to do Facebook ads and then building my own websites. And
Who was your
then
first client, or how did that start? Like,
my first client,
or yeah, how did you kind of say, hey, I can do that, and why don't you pay me to do that, and I'll do that?
literally just like built a website and deemed myself an expert. And then my first client did come from a friend who was a graphic designer. And she said, hey, my client needs help with this. So talked to them and totally undersold myself, but got my first client. And then from that point on, I felt legitimate and just started collecting more and more skills.
Nice. Well, if you can see, there's a banner under my name. Did you catch that?
Yeah. Yeah. And I see there's an XSplit logo too.
Yeah.
There is a like audio delay, like the audio is coming in through Zoom and then the video's a half a second behind it.
Yes, that's a good point, because I'm not pumping the audio through XSplit yet.
Mm.
So
So you're talking through Zoom and you're sharing a screen through XSplit?
uh, I'm pumping XSplit to Zoom as a camera. So in Zoom, after I rebooted my computer, is one thing I had to do, because at first it wasn't showing up. But in Zoom, when you go to configure your camera, basically, after you install XSplit and apparently reboot, then there should be an XSplit broadcaster option in Zoom. So why don't we just show that really quick?
Yeah.
We're gonna get some endless tunnel.
Cool.
I'll just close
Your
that.
frame rate's lower than it's noticeably low.
Okay.
Would that be able to be improved?
Probably. I've been playing with this all of 10 minutes, so
Cool. Yeah,
so who
let's
knows?
see
I'm
what's
sure
good.
it can get better. So my uh I'm not gonna, let's see. Let me see if you see this on the screen. Can you see the Zoom settings, or does it hide those?
Yeah. I can see your Zoom settings.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. So usually you select your camera, right? And now there's an XSplit broadcaster. So pretty simple as far as that goes.
And
You
how
just
did you
select
get that? You turned it on in XSplit, reset, and then it showed up?
Yeah, I just installed XSplit. Like, that's all I
Okay.
did. Literally just installed it. I opened it. I looked at it a little bit. I
Okay, yeah.
was checking if there were any settings or anything.
I got XSplit
Yeah.
in mine already.
Yeah, and then once it was installed, I couldn't find the camera option in Zoom at first, but then I just rebooted my computer, and then that might not be the same for everybody. But then once I did that, so now whatever I have on XSplit, whatever scene I've created, will now show up in Zoom.
Okay, cool.
So I can bring in a meme, right? I could add, let's try that really quick, just for the purposes.
Oh, once you go XSplit, I can't go back now. Oh, because XSplit took my camera.
Oh,
Gotcha.
yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty messy call, but
Yeah.
like we're just like stumbling through the technology. So
Yeah, it was great.
and we could bring in, let's see if that works. Yeah, so far it seems to be not playing well at all with my CPU and sharing resources. Like you say, there's a horrible frame rate. So it's either that I don't have a good enough graphics card. There's probably a setting that it's not offloading to my CPU or something, because my CPU is really low.
Yeah.
And I don't have a wonderful graphics card. So,
I
but you
don't have
should be
any.
able to see like the meme, right? Like the meme now is on Zoom,
Mm-hmm.
not just XSplit. So whatever scene I create now. So now if I were hosting the Do It Live podcast and I had my, preferably for me is OBS still. I don't have enough flight time with XSplit to feel confident, but I'll start playing with it for stuff like this. But see, if you notice on mine, I have all these OBS. I was trying to install 4 different OBS cameras
Mm-hmm.
into Zoom, and I can't get it to work. I don't know what it is. There's something wrong with the install. I think I screwed something up. So I need to get that to work because I really like OBS,
Mm-hmm.
and I have so much time put into it that I want to be able to pump my OBS in Zoom. And then if I were to share a video or something like that, I'm not sharing my screen. I'm just changing a slide, changing a scene in XSplit, right? So
Mm-hmm.
instead of like what sometimes we'll do, like share a screen and then play a video, right? It would just be like down arrow to that scene with the video loaded, right? That's
Nice.
that's what my goal is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Simple, preloaded, and really easy execution.
Yeah. So for my purposes, now if I switch to my Logitech, it's going to become a lot better, hopefully. Let's see. For some reason, it's not. Oh, let's
I
just
had to
kill.
I'd have to turn it off on XSplit, and then Zoom would be able to grab it.
Good point.
Do that. And then do that. No,
All right. No, stop sharing. And now my video should be live. You should see me better now, right? Cool. So that's that.
Where's this echo coming from?
Now there's an echo.
Okay, boom. So I had to turn off XSplit, and then Zoom gave me my camera back.
Okay. And my audio sounds all right now, though?
Yep. Now it's good. There was an echo, but it might have been my XSplit.
All right. So on the fly, and you feel free to take it in any direction you want as far as this call goes, but I was going to fire my OBS on the fly and see if it worked after that reboot too.
Sure. Okay, so like what I would like to see take place is do you know of any benefits that XSplit provides that OBS doesn't? It's a good first question.
I don't. I mean, that probably would be good if Rich were able to join us and answer that, because he uses it for some reason, obviously. And it looks like to me that there's a bunch of paid features to it, though. So that's the big difference right there so far that I've seen, is it looks like I've been trying to create additional scenes and things like that in XSplit, and it's like already popping up and being like, you need to upgrade your license. So that might just be that I don't know how to use it yet.
Yeah.
In the free way, but it also could mean that OBS is like the free, totally free version, and the XSplit's like a spun off paid version, and then it has some super advanced features for like professional use, you know?
Yeah. Which if provides useful, then it would be worth it. But
Sure. So my goal is on Thursday, I have an interview, and I'm gonna do it live. And I'm going to stream it to Facebook and YouTube, and I'm going to have the guest join me in Zoom and pump that through OBS into the streams. So
Discord? Oh no, into the Facebook and YouTube.
Yep. So I'm going to stream Zoom meeting into Facebook and YouTube, basically, with
And
OBS.
does XSplit stream? What's the benefit of?
Yep. That's exactly what it is. It's a broadcasting software. So they're both OBS, open broadcasting software, and then XSplit, from what I'm aware of, is a spinoff of OBS, but I've not gone and read about that or anything. It's just what I'm hearing through Richard, basically. So we
And
all know we need to fact check him,
yeah,
thoroughly.
I send him an invite. We'll see if he pops in, then we can ask him a bunch of questions. But why would you use XSplit and then broadcast with OBS? Just because you're familiar with it?
If that's what I said, I may have misspoken. I want to pump Zoom through OBS.
Uh-huh.
XSplit is like, for me in my mind, it's categorized as right now it's in beta, like in test mode.
Yeah.
For me in my personal use, like I'm going to use it. I used it just now when I joined this meeting and we had a lot of issues. So I need to figure out those settings to figure out why my frame rate was so low. But I did achieve the goal of putting a banner under my name joining Zoom. So that's like a big
Yeah,
milestone.
show me how you did that.
So basically it's just, let's fire back up XSplit. And now that, well, it's probably going to just take control of my camera, huh? But I can share my screen. So. And then I'll try OBS after that. And then if Rich joins, that's fine. And then I wanted to talk to you a little bit about your graphics software and see what kind of files you wanted from me to do something like that.
Cool.
It definitely seems to be more robust, XSplit. Like
Yeah.
there looks to be more daunting, but the interface to me, here, I'll just go ahead and share. So far it's letting me keep my camera. That's nice. But I bet when I share my screen, it'll take it away. Anyway.
What's the GPU? Graphics? The graphics card?
Am I sharing my screen right now? I'm not, am I?
No.
There's too many damn buttons on my screen right now. GPU, yeah, graphics processing.
Gotcha. I'm at like 80% doing nothing right now.
While you're rendering your own video, it's probably using that to render your Zoom video.
Oh yeah.
So now you should be able to see my screen, right? And
device not available.
Yeah, that's fine. Because we're interested in this. Oh yeah, it's just hammering my CPU too. Let me see if I.
So scenes are what you assign. You would assign it to a window, to a screen, to any like software, right? You could assign it to like VLC or something like that.
Yeah. So there's a bit of lag. But yeah, so from what I gather is that in the lower right here are the scenes, and you can just keep pressing this plus button and it will keep adding them. But that's what I was talking about, is when I tried to do that, it already popped up and was like, you need to upgrade, see?
Oh, for watermark.
Maybe later. And when I said maybe later, it still didn't add the scene. So I was like, okay, am I doing something wrong? Or how do I get past not being able to create a scene? And then I'm like, okay, they're just basically letting me test drive this, it looks like.
Yeah. And resolutions stomp down and frame rate stomp down. So you add a source of your PNG lower third, and then you have that to add to the scene?
Yeah, I made it in a Inkscape that I closed for this call to save some memory. But yeah, just a PNG overlay, added it, dropped it down to the bottom, and now you have your overlay, and then you can pump that into Zoom. And then now I've answered the magical question of how Richard's putting his autonomy lower third on his, and so we'll all have to step up our game and start putting our own, because it's free advertising, right? Like I've got my website there. I'm on a call with somebody, I can have my website there, and they go, hey, what? That's interesting. He has a website. Let me see what his website's all about,
Yeah.
And or not. They may not even really notice it, but it just adds a nice little touch.
For sure. I
think. I mean, Richard's video always looks really nice with that on there, the really professional look. So yeah. So I have to play around with this more. I'm interested. There's a lot of things I don't like so far. Like I'm trying to control this little bottom area, seems all scrunched down here to me. It seems really scrunched in the bottom, and I can't seem to make it bigger. And when I use this up arrow, it's actually going to just make my video smaller. So there's a lot of little things. Like I said, I installed it late last night and then jumped on it this morning and played around with it all of 10 minutes before jumping on with you. So I'm not experienced enough to know much more than that.
Well, I'm gonna play around with it too and see if
OBS, you can see that, right? It just fired right up. Boom.
Yeah.
No taking forever to load. It's not, I can pull it around. It's not. So there's something with the settings there that are way off, obviously, with and there probably was with OBS too. It took me a long time to feel confident enough to actually do a live show with OBS, but I was getting this kind of ready, to do some autonomy stuff. So I have an autonomy scene selection. So in OBS, you have your scene selections. I do one for each one of my live streams, and then I spin off a new one. I have a bunch of tests in here and things that I've been doing, and then autonomy. So this, to me, it's probably one of those things where when you start using new software, you have that, like, the neurons are still forming in the back of your brain, and it kind of hurts if you don't like it.
Yeah.
But this just, to me, seems so much better, like just this interface than what we had up.
So same thing, you create scenes and then you would share your screen into Zoom, or you would tell Zoom to be OBS, right?
Yeah, so if I can, let's try that. So see here, I have on Zoom, here's my video. Well, actually, you're probably not seeing that. Let's pull this open. I'll go OBS camera 1. Now, the trick in OBS is it's supposed to be here in my tools, and I don't see it. That's all. I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and there's supposed to be some virtual video plugin here, and it's not there. So I think I bonked the install. I'm gonna have to like rip it out and reinstall it, because that's the magic part. Is it's supposed to be some setting here that I press and it pumps the video to Zoom, and then I could just have this OBS capture, and then I could have my the software I'm used to working for that, and I'd feel much more comfortable to go through these scenes. And then there's my secondary cam, my desktop share scene I'm going to have built out for that, and then back to me to some slides. We'll jump into some slides, and then back to whatever the primary camera, whatever it's going to be. So that's the goal with OBS.
And check out, unshare your screen and see if I'm doing this right.
Boom. Yeah.
And how's the lag? No lag really? Or just a half a second?
Not even. I mean, your voice is going right along with your mouth.
Sweet. And okay. Cool. So
yeah.
This is what's excellent.
With your settings are working better with your computer. It's more compatible with right out of the box. So you must have like a beefy graphics card or something.
It's what came on the motherboard. So
well, I'll have to play around with that. But that's cool though. That's good to know that it worked for you. That means that it's just some weird thing with me, and it's not, a huge struggle. So other people can do it. Now, as far as getting that logo, I wonder what the cost is and all that, because that's really not. That looks really bad. I mean, I don't like it. I really like seeing that.
So I mean, if I can pull this off with OBS, then obviously I'll take that route until I start needing things from XSplit that OBS doesn't offer, but I always go with the cost efficient, the thrifty route. But cool. Now this just connected to my brain. So how would I play media? Do I need to upload each media as its own source?
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. You can do a screen share in OBS or XSplit where you're just sharing your desktop and then you're playing YouTube or whatever, like through your desktop, right? But that's a scene like in itself. So you'd have a scene that's set up to share your desktop. That way when you want to share your web browser, share a web page, an article, you just switch to that scene where now it's going to be your desktop. So you could play a video through that as long as you have your audio being picked up as well. So within the scene, you kind of have to have everything that you want into your stream, right? So if you need a mic in there, you got to make sure your mic's in there. Your mic right now is probably just going into Zoom, and that's why I can hear you. But you could also probably port it through.
Well, Zoom, when you go to share video, it now allows you to grab the computer source. So it should be able to stay that way, I think. What I really want to accomplish right now is for Friday night lectures, Rich sends me like 3-4 pieces of media to play for breaks. I want to get those like uploaded beforehand and then be able to execute those without really showing control panels.
Yeah. So let's just do an example here, since I have that loaded up. Yeah, I had some clips in this scene selection here.
I'm gonna.
And then I know we only had a half an hour set, so.
I don't have nothing for the rest of the hour.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I don't have a hard stop or anything. So here's an example of a slide I had, right? And so this slide would be on the screen, and then when I go to the video.
Dr. Sutton, you wrote 3 series of books while you were a research fellow at the Hoover Institute. Can you give me basically the background of the content of these series?
Yes, the series I wrote at the Hoover Institution at Stanford University concerned the transfers of Western technology to and essentially it comprised 3 individual books. Each book covers a period of time since 1917.
And then you wrote a second series of books on Wall Street.
So that in OBS, I'm gonna kind of go back into that, but I'll mute it.
Sutton, you wrote
there. What that is in here is a
media source.
Yeah, and it's video capture. No, that's which one of these is it? Anthony Sutton clip. It's just basically a media source. Yeah, you just add it in. So that's another way to do it, right? Mm-hmm. But then I could also just have a desktop share. Boom, share my desktop, and then I can go find a video. Here we go. And play it right off of my VLC.
Welcome everybody. I'm going to take a sip here out of my autonomy tumbler.
Now that you can't hear, right?
This is not something we sell. You can make. Get a sticker, you get the cup, you put it on there. Bada bing, you got yourself an autonomy tumbler.
Yeah. So that would be. So again, I was saying like you can see the video, right? But in OBS, if you're not porting in that desktop audio, which I'm not somehow because it's probably going through my mixer and who knows where the hell it's going from there because I'm doing too many things here.
welcome so everybody. I'm going to take a sip here out of my autonomy tumbler. This is not something we sell. It's something you can make.
Should be
get a sticker, you get the cup, you put it on there. Bada bing, you got yourself an autonomy tumbler. Welcome anyway. Everybody. I'm going to take a.
Anyway, so that's just me sharing the screen rather than having it loaded in here. So if I'm in the after show and I think of something that I don't have loaded in here and I'm like, hey, I want to play that, right? Then I'll just jump back to my desktop share and play it really quick. And I am sharing the desktop currently in Zoom in order to show you this, but I would just be on my main camera. I wouldn't have to change any of my camera settings or share the screen or do any of that. I would just change the scene selection in OBS or XSplit. So it's a little bit different logic. It's just a different control board. And then you're doing the controls from this broadcaster, which is what, it's kind of getting you into that more of a professional realm of doing things. And then obviously giving you the ability to do what you did, like put that banner at the bottom. Now you can add memes and graphics and overlays and sounds. And if you get all that working with the voice meter banana, then you're a pro, and you'll have a lot to chew on. But once that all kind of makes sense, now you're audio guy, so that in your head, this is all like wiring together quite nicely because you get how everything ports and you can visualize it, and you know what the hardware terminology actually means. For a guy like me who probably doesn't have as much experience at all with the actual physical hardware stuff. So when I say a port, that's like a port on a soundboard.
I have like stage experience, not academic experience, so I'll probably come up with my own terms.
Cool.
For what works.
Cool. Yeah, so for my purposes, I feel like what I'm going to do is record some of my integration exercises with OBS. Pumping in the Zoom call. But I can kind of do that really quick right now too while we are on it. So I'm going to be silent for a minute.
Yeah, I'm poking around.
So let's pretend this was a live interview. I'm going to be like, oh man, I have to get this set up. Joshua's going to be mad because I wasn't ready for this interview. Should be easy enough. Yeah, it's this voice meter banana. It adds this other layer of complexity. Okay, so now I can see it bouncing. Will you say something?
Sure. How about now?
That looks good. So, but I would need my mic. See, and that's what, the last time I did this, I forgot to put in my mic. I was recording with Amanda. And so it's like a one-way conversation. I can hear her, which is good. It was better than me.
Yeah. Yeah.
She said all the interesting stuff anyway. So. In this case, I need you and me. So now, what's it doing? Why isn't that working?
How do you activate multiple scenes in OBS? Do you have to turn them all into a source, like bundle them in sources?
Yeah. So a scene, you can do a scene within a scene if that's what you mean. You can do
like
you can go
overlay and camera. Those are two different scenes, right? But they need to be shown together, right?
Those are sources within the scene, yeah.
So I have my overlay. My camera's not. Camera's on camera.
Yeah, but if Zoom has that, you might not be able to grab it.
I turned it off on Zoom.
Well, that's weird. And then, so within that camera scene, or whichever one, then, you can add more sources. So your mic, you would need to add in there too.
Oh, there I am. Awesome. So.
Oh, that's weird.
This is how did my ratio is wrong. How did you fix that?
Double click your camera and then configure video. Oh, wow, it actually pulled up your driver configure video, which is pretty cool. So within here, there should be some kind of widescreen. Normal. Image orientation normal. Oh, okay. Instead of mirrored. Never mind.
Cool. I've never seen these.
Where is that 4.3 setting? I think for me, it would be right in that configure video. Or maybe not. Oh, it's actually below. should be right there somewhere in there. Resolution. So it says device default. Maybe you need to do like custom. So back out of this and then back on the OBS screen. There's resolution, FPS type, and then drop down to that custom, and then let's see, resolution. It's not giving us the resolution for some reason. There should be options in that resolution of like 1920 by 1080, blah blah blah.
Huh. There it is. I had to type it in.
That's weird. Cool though. All right. There you go.
And then, so how do I combine my JH overlay and camera scenes, the sources into one scene, right?
Sure. So if you want an overlay, you just add a little plus in your sources and then add an image, and then so that's the scenes those are the scenes. So just keep on your camera scene, and then in the sources is the column to the right, the little box to the right of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But don't drag anything over there. Just click in there. Yep, there you go. And then images, that little plus button. Yeah, you got it. Now you're off and running, because add in anything on the top of your camera now, or a nice, if once I get full blown, I'm gonna have an awesome like background with a nice framework for an interview like this with you, so that your picture's in a cool box and my picture's in a cool box with frames around them.
Yeah.
And that would all be done just by that, just at making a PNG that's like a framework, and then you throw it on top of it. You could throw a background video, and you could have a really professional looking thing, and not just pre-recorded. That's the whole thing. Like, of course you can do all this pre-recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
Of course you can send me some raw video footage and I can make it look pretty, but the goal is I want to do that live. Do it live, I want to have that shit done on the live stream, so that in the end I'm going, I don't want to do any post-production eventually with some of the stuff,
Right.
And if you can get, if you're a wizard in OBS or XSplit, that's way more possible.
Why isn't so I added my overlay as an image, as an image in the source, but it's not showing.
Bump it up. Now, yeah, ordering does matter. So there's little arrows at the bottom. Once there you go.
Oh, I got to position that. Cool.
Yep.
And then it's like layered, so the ones on top are layered out on top.
Yep. Now you don't have any bullshit XSplit thing. So if you can get that pumped into Zoom, which is the last leg I'm working on, and I'll send you the links I was using to do that, because I think I kind of blanked up the install. I remember I was having some issues.
So my OBS isn't showing up in Zoom settings.
Yep, because it's not baked in. You have to add it as a plugin. So in your OBS, do you see under tools at the top, you have your tools drop down. Now, when we get this in there, it's supposed to be there. So if you install this virtual cam plugin and then restart your OBS or something, then you should see it there. Is where it's supposed to show up.
Okay, but neither of us have it.
Yeah, I've got the software installed. It's definitely showing up in Zoom as an option. Like, I have the sources there, but then there's some portion of it that's broken for me still in Zoom or OBS. Where's the chat? How do I get? I'll just Discord you this link. It's kind of like GitHub style page, but they link you to the GitHub, and there's an exe. So it's basically just a executable. Maybe I should have sent you that instead of this like extra stuff.
OBS need to shut down, or it'll shut it down probably. Cool.
You're just like diving right in. You already got your executable?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Kicker.
There you go. Yeah, I would like to see this. So I went for 4, which was unnecessary, but I was like, yeah, why not? Maybe that's what the problem is, though. So just do the 1, I would say. Yeah.
Cool.
So it says, cool, it's good, succeeded. Maybe close it and reopen it. That'd be so awesome.
So it should be a video thing, you said?
Yeah, under tools, there should be something that says like virtual cam, and you're not seeing it either. There's a couple possibilities. Maybe the videos I've been watching on YouTube are outdated and they've moved it, but it is a plugin, and I mean that's where you access those items. There's also under edit, or one of my kids just like banged his head into the wall. Under view and docs, there's like also I have plugins there that I've added, but there's nothing there that shows virtual cam. So yeah, so that's my hurdle with OBS, and I really want to get that solved so that I can have that capability with OBS. I'm fine to learn XSplit and maybe even eventually start paying for it. But where I'm at right now is like, well, I have all this experience with OBS, and I have it basically how I want it. I know how it works. It plays well with my computer. It plays well with my streaming. I don't really want to mix it up right now, 2 days before an interview.
Right.
And trying to learn. So right now I just started recording locally with my Zoom, and I'm watching you on monitor 2. So it'd be like we were having a discussion.
Wow.
You're showing me your awesome work. And okay, so what's, oh yeah, there's some settings in here that are just wild.
Yeah. So assign any command to your keyboard. Yeah, I wonder if shutting down Zoom and popping it open would put it there. I'll test that.
Full-blown reboot.
Yeah. I mean, got time. If you don't have anything, you want to show me how you stream for the next like 10 minutes?
Sure. Absolutely. So let's do this. So now we're back to you and me, right?
Yeah.
What's going on here? I just want to see how this would work. So it's because Zoom's been acting up lately with the scene switching, and I feel like I'm gonna have to do some manual controls for this live interview, but that's ugly. I don't like that. But you're coming in nice and clear, so I'm recording you, but it's definitely not bringing me up as I'm talking, so I would have to do that and double click me. But I'm like a gray box right now because my settings are weird.
I just found advanced sharing settings where I can grab just a portion of a screen, which that might be the easiest route for me playing media and just cutting off the controls on the bottom through Zoom.
That was weird.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we don't need to worry about that. You're able to share a screen with Zoom. Is that what you said, or you're doing that with OBS?
Yeah. Can you see video playing?
Yeah.
Boom. So that's a YouTube page, but I just grabbed the video section.
But you're doing that through OBS?
Zoom.
Oh, okay. So you're not pumping through Zoom anymore. Okay.
Not through
okay.
OBS.
Sorry. Yeah, that's cool. There is kind of weird red. Oh, never mind. Never mind. I'm looking at a different. There's too many screens. Mine's blown after this call.
Yeah, Zoom has content from second camera, computer sound only. Oh, and files. Files from a cloud service. So I'm going to have to explore that and see if that's the simplest way. All right, stream.
What I do is obviously I use OBS as my broadcaster, and those settings, what that looks like is really simple because I use restream.io. So there's service.
That's a third-party website or something?
Yep. So the service is restream.io. You can find your YouTube presets, your Twitch, Facebook Live. I'm going to go to Restream because I want to multi-stream. So for me, I stream to 2 platforms to kind of mix it up a little bit, test kind of trigger complexity, and have some fault tolerance and redundancy, as well as, although I hate both of these conglomeration corporate.
It's where the people are, where the eyes are.
Yeah, that's where I've been at even for the last 10 years, right? So yeah, I'm on Minds and all these other places, but once those things I have more streaming capabilities, some DLive, some DTube, for sure. Yeah, I want to try streaming to those.
Yeah, does DLive does BitTorrent wouldn't, right? Because that's just not BitTorrent, but
so DLive this is restream.io, and you can plug into DLive, you can plug into all these other ones. And it's like the gamers, they paved the way.
And
so a lot of the stuff's like Twitch.
Discord's not on there, right? I thought I saw Discord allows streaming into it.
It may. Discord and Zoom are not in here. There might be some way to plug in through an API or through a custom. See, there's custom or TMP. So there's probably ways to do it.
Because that's what would be great for our podcast, to be able to just stream it into a channel.
Yeah, and we could stream it into a YouTube private event. I was thinking for that reason. That way it's not public. That's like what Brett did for his summit, right? Was a private YouTube. So yeah, we'll have to figure that out. I think that for now, just having a Zoom meeting is fine.
Right.
People join, especially season 1 grads, join and talk to you and bring in their live questions. Obviously, yeah, if you could clean that all up and stream it into something, and then have that additional production value to be able to make it a little bit more whatever.
Yeah.
But you'd probably want a second pair of hands.
Right.
At that point, even if they're remote, but maybe you can, you're going to have to start training your neighbor, Joseph, there.
Yeah.
So it goes into Restream, and then it just basically from there, you make sure your settings are right. It's really easy because it's all graphical. You don't have to even plug anything in. You just have to tell it what your YouTube account is. It goes
events versus YouTube stream. YouTube stream is an immediate thing, and an events is
okay. YouTube event would be you went and scheduled it, and then you can just drop it down in that restream.io.
Gotcha.
And it selects it, and it you don't have to even put in a stream keys or anything. It just figures it out. It's really cool.
You schedule it in YouTube, and then it's choosable in here in Restream.
Yep. Let's see. So my last one was here, and then I can create one from here. I haven't done it that way yet. I always go and do it in YouTube, and then I find it. Once it's created in there as an upcoming, it'll be in this drop down.
Yeah.
And I think that's how on the back end they get the stream key in here without you having to do anything, which is really nice. And then the same with this. Like I plugged in that I'm using RTMP, that I'm using Restream in OBS, and it just figured out like how to do it. Auto detected it. Like I don't think I ever had to actually copy a stream key anywhere and put it into anything with the setup. It just like worked, and it was cool. And I did some test streams to kind of like I didn't call them test streams, but I went on and like did like a 20-minute thing, right?
Yeah.
And just to kind of, does this really work this well? And it does. And it once you kind of press start streaming, it starts to do some different optimization of the hardware, because like earlier when we were watching that Yuri Bezmenov clip, and it, or whatever that guy's name is, and it was clipping, you were noticing some lag. When you hit stream, it somehow like optimizes the CPU, and it won't do that. Like it probably won't let you do much else with your PC.
Yeah.
But you know,
cool.
Anyway.
So how do you connect Restream to OBS?
So yeah, that's just that setting. It's just in here, stream, and then you select Restream, auto detect.
Oh, so OBS already has that as a choice.
So yeah, let's think about that. So it auto detected the server, and then when I stream it, I don't know how they figured all that out. I'm having a hard time connecting the dots at this point either, like how they know that that's my account that it should go to, and then out to my accounts. But there must have been something that I did during the setup, but it wasn't hard enough that I remember it. If it was hard, I would have remembered it, because it would have been a pain. So if it was, it's good that I don't remember.
It just showed it for me, and then I just gotta grab the stream key.
And Restream has, obviously, it's free for the stuff that I do. You want to add in more channels, or you want to add in streaming to your page versus your personal profile. Those are paid features. So I would like to stream to my pages, quite honestly, because I have some bigger pages. But I'm big on not paying for things if I don't have to. And that's how I can stream to my personal profile. And that's just fine for what I'm doing. I'm not trying to really drive like a huge audience or anything. It's more just this whole being able to do a show and then walk away at the end, and you know.
And honestly, Facebook has horrible viewing numbers. Like people don't go to Facebook for long form, like more than 3-minute videos.
Now the last thing that I want to show, just what sparked me off onto all this, was watching somebody streaming live on YouTube, and they were taking Discord calls live on the show, and I'm like, whoa. Yeah, that's exactly who it was.
Yeah.
That's when I was like, whoa, wait, what's he doing? How do you do that? I didn't get it, and it bothered me that I didn't get it. Like I wanted to know, how did he do that, you know?
Right.
So I got it to the point now where I can do that. I don't have enough people kind of traffic-y wise to come in on a live show, but it's there. I give people that platform, and if I'm live streaming and just I'm doing my ranting, I'm not doing it to a total just wall. Like people can come on if they really needed to say something, and they could actually come and ask their question live on my show. So I have a Discord call-in scene that pulls in. I was doing it through my headset. Now I can just do it through this mixer. Like I have some revamping I need to do.
Is that
another topic?
Banana?
Yep, this is another, you and me have another hour long meeting.
Yeah.
With just this thing, because this is the key that kind of makes it all work seamlessly. You can do all this obviously without it, but if I want to jump from my live stream into Discord, you know, like if you watch Mark, he'll actually grab another headset, and that's because I don't think he's got the mixer part figured out, where I don't even have to switch it. I can have my Discord talking right in my ear, and I can use the same mic. All I have to do that is hit B2, and B2 is a virtual out to Discord. Over here you can see it started jumping up and down. If I turn it off, it's off. And then this is kind of getting into a lot here, I know.
Cool. Well, yeah, let's make it a point to go over that next week.
Let's do that. Because that's another rabbit hole, but it's a good one, especially for the purposes of the people in autonomy. That it's not like I'm any better than anybody else for plunging through this stuff and learning how to do it. The point is we want to share what we learned with you guys so that, you know, everybody can be up to where we're at. There's no technological hurdle. And if there is, you can ask
behind the golden gate.
Gosh.
Golden
Yeah,
gate.
for sure. And I don't ever want to come across that way. And I know how it feels to feel like you don't get something and somebody else has got it, and you're like, oh man, you know, like this.
Yeah, well,
not telling you, that's annoying. So
I've been operating this way for so long now, but like I don't even come in contact with people that try and hoard shit anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's this a societal program to like try and hoard ways so that you have an advantage over others in order to benefit yourself. And I haven't been doing that for the longest time, and now like nobody enters my bubble that operates that way. So it's great that you just found such like-minded individuals in this community, and we got hooked up, and it's been a pleasure to work with you, because we really like fit like two pieces of a puzzle on sharing values and goals and just wanting to improve.
For sure, man. Yeah. And you know, I know I've gone to people randomly that I don't even know and asked them how they were doing things, and they were, like you said, they just shared it with me. They weren't trying to hide it. They responded, first of all. They didn't have to some stranger. So yeah, generally people are pretty open, like Richard, you know. Like I've gone and asked him things about what he's doing, and he gets excited about it, right?
Yeah, he'd be like, hold on, I'm gonna record this. Yeah.
Like me, like I'm the same way. Like I nerd out, and I love talking about stuff like this as much as I do, you know, other things that kind of like the whole peace revolution or any of those types of topics. I can just as happily get on and talk about those. But then with the tech side, like, you know, if these are the tools we're going to use our voices, like let's get them down. Let's get them out there and learn how to use them. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I'll share this in the production room. I know Chris will get some benefit out of the chaos of what we just went through.
Cool. Well, you got a lot of stuff set up on this call, so we're off and running.
Yeah, and then maybe same time next week, we might be able to make this a weekly thing.
I'm up for it. I have a bunch of things to cover, so, and I know you do too. There's a lot of questions I have for you as well, so I'm down for that. I'm down for making it a consistent thing.
Yeah, and
tentatively.
Cool. I think it will definitely benefit both of us, and then of course the community of the more of us that know how to use this stuff, the better.
Absolutely.
Sweet. Awesome, Tyler. Well, pleasure to talk to you and work with you again, and hope to meet you in person someday.
Yeah, I appreciate your time, man.
You too, buddy. Take care.
Thanks. Bye.